Hi, I'm Lauren Saidel-Baker, an economist here at ITR Economics, with a brief response now that we know that Donald Trump will be the next president of the United States. We've been getting a lot of questions on this result. ITR Economics is a nonpartisan, apolitical firm because we find that the economy just doesn't have a favorite political party. So to answer the question that we have been getting so much this week, no, we will not be revising forecasts based solely on the result of this election. Now, that's not to say that the election changes nothing. But when we look at any big picture macro indicator, things like GDP, like the Industrial Production Index, even things like inflation, in general, there is not a historical correlation between red or blue in the White House, or even Republicans or Democrats controlling the House and the Senate, and the outcomes of any of these real economic factors. So what we want to focus on here at ITR is policies, not politics. And there's an important distinction between the two. Politics get heated. We've seen so many headlines, in some cases misleading headlines. Join us on By the Numbers, where we take down those misleading headlines. But policies don't represent the individual. Feel as you do about individual candidates or politicians, but look at what they're actually putting forward. That's what we will be doing in the coming months and quarters here at ITR. So the example that I like to use, one that came up a lot during the first Trump administration, is tariffs. President Trump has, on the campaign trail, proposed, although they're not official proposals yet, but he has suggested that new tariffs will be implemented up to a 10 to 20% tariff on all imports coming into the United States and 60% on goods specifically from China. There were some other key categories that he called out. Again, we don't have an official proposal. We don't know how serious these are, but we will take them seriously if they do come up. And by that, I mean things like this proposed 200% tariff on autos produced in Mexico. We'll be watching, and the good news is we'll have some forward-looking visibility. Nothing happens overnight, especially if it's a bill that has to become law. We will get that lead time to be able to prepare you. Businesses will have that forward-looking information to put plans in place and to execute on them at the appropriate time. But what we can address is policies. Generally, tariffs are inflationary. It's a higher cost of imports. It's meant to encourage domestic production, but typically to protect that higher cost basis domestic production from cheaper foreign imports. So overall, we can say that if these tariffs do go into place, that would generally cause higher prices. Now, I don't want to step away from our general inflation outlook, which, if you've been following us, is for a resurgence of inflation by the second half of 2025. So any of these tariffs would really just add on. They would pile on top of that existing price pressure, which we see the fundamentals already laid out for. These are the types of conversations that we will be having going forward. There's a lot to unpack with the new administration coming into office in January. We will be doing that in greater detail going forward. So please keep up with us, our blog posts on our website. We will be putting out Trends Talk episodes and other YouTube clips. And we will additionally be hosting a summit in March where we drill deeper into this policies versus politics issue. We certainly hope to see you there, but however we see you, please stay with us here at ITR Economics as we move through this time into new administration. But as someone once said, red or blue, you can still make green. Plan what's best for your business going forward, however you feel about this election result. Thanks so much for joining us today.